Guys, it is currently 3:04 a.m. and I'm just getting done with my studying. I have to get up in 3 hours because I have to go to the hospital for my surgery rotation. So I know what you might be thinking, you have to be crazy to go to bed at 3 and get up at 6 a.m. like you're gonna be dead. But the reason I'm making this video is I wanna motivate you guys to come to medical school. And you might be asking how the hell is getting 3 hours of sleep motivation to go to medical school? So let me explain myself. If you're in first or second year, you wake up in the morning, you go to class, and after class you probably have some sort of peer small group meetings, and after the small group whatever, you probably have to go to some anatomy lab, and then by the end of the day, it's 7 o'clock and you have to study, and you're already sleep deprived, you don't have any time in your day, right? And that sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you, the first 2 years of medical school kind of suck. And me, I'm in my third year, and fourth year is kind of the same thing. My schedule, what I do on a daily basis, depends on the doctor that I'm shadowing, right? So whatever he does, I do. When he goes home, I go home, right? Now, I'm not going to sit here right now and tell you what my schedule is tomorrow because I want to leave that as a surprise. But I'm trying to explain to you that going to bed at 3 a.m. and getting up at 6 a.m., not every day, but on some days, whatever, is not as bad as it seems, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to see you guys in 3 hours. But at the end of the video, after you guys watch the whole thing, see my schedule, see exactly what I did, I want you guys to comment your opinion. If it sucks, it sucks. If it's not as bad as you thought, comment that. But I don't go to bed at 3 a.m. every day. It's definitely a rare occasion. I don't get 3 hours of sleep. I usually get 7-8 hours, right? So it's not an everyday event. But like I said, I'm unbothered because I know my schedule for tomorrow. So stay tuned. See you in 3 hours. All right, guys. Time is about 6:15. I'm getting up a little late. I think what we're gonna do is you're gonna eat breakfast at home, save some time, and we're gonna sprint over to the hospital. Let's get started. Now I know these videos are usually meant to be perfect because I'm in medical school, whatever, I'm vlogging, but I woke up a little too late, so I'm gonna skip breakfast. But anyway, see you in the car. All right, guys, so today we're actually going to the surgery center. We're not going to the hospital, but we're going to the surgery center. The difference between the surgery center and the hospital is that at the surgery center, we do surgeries that you can leave the same day, meaning that you don't need a whole day of recovery. You don't need to stay to the hospital overnight. These are umbilical hernias, debridements. These are if you have infections, just general surgeries that don't require a whole day of recovery, right? You get the surgery, a couple hours later you go home. Today what we have for the first surgery is going to be a debridement. Debridement is just a fancy word to clean. You usually see debridements on burn injuries, on infections. These typically don't take that long. They take about 15-20 minutes, but the whole thing altogether takes about an hour because the patient has to be put under anesthesia. So yeah, that's what takes a little longer. People probably want to know if I'm feeling tired right now. Of course, I'm not going to be as energized as I would if I got a little more sleep, but I'm definitely not I'm not a zombie if that's what you guys think I am. 3 hours kind of sucks. So I probably got about an hour and a half of sleep by the time I go to bed, by the time I rest and all that. At the end of the day, you guys are in for a surprise. So it's currently 6:50 a.m. We just got to the surgery center. Like I said, our first procedure today is going to be a surgical debridement. So what we have to do is we first have to get changed into our scrubs, then we got to scrub our hands, then we got to help move the patient from the room to the operating room. Then we have to help intubate, and depending on what extremity is getting the debridement, we have to help prep that extremity, and that includes cleaning it, that includes draping it, and then we're all set for the operation. We're all ready. Right now, let's go get the patient. Before every surgery, we have to come to the supply closet and we have to get a proper gown for the surgery, as well as pick out our glove sizes. I grab a glove, I grab a gown, and then I bring it to the surgical tech. And then before we go into surgery, we put them on, and then we start. So the patient's all clean and ready to go. Even though the operation was scheduled for 7 a.m., we usually don't get started operating until 7:30, so I'll see you after. The time is now 7:50, so we were in the operating room for approximately 15 minutes, and we're all done with the debridement. The exciting part that I was trying to tell you guys yesterday is that I wanted to surprise you that my day was so quick today, where I just come into the hospital real quick, or the operating room real quick, and before you know it, I'm done, I'm heading home. But unfortunately, we had another case come up, which is really rare. So now I have to go to the main hospital. I have to do a quick consult, and we're gonna actually fix a small bowel obstruction, and we're gonna do it with a robot. So this is at 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to be up a little longer than I thought, because I was originally supposed to go back home and take a nap, but whatever. The thing with these robotic surgeries is that the doctor does all the work, and he's looking into like a little like microscope kind of thing. And like I said in my previous videos, if you watched those before, the student doesn't really do anything. Just sits and observes the screen as the doctor works. I'm going to be up a little longer than I thought I was, but eventually we'll go back home and we'll sleep. All right, so let's go. And here I thought I was going to come in and leave real quickly. You know, I was going to show you guys, it doesn't matter if you stay up all night, because you go home really, really early and sleep, but I guess not. So pretty rarely does that ever happen, but you have to expect it, right? What happened, and we had this unexpected surgery, is that we put a nasal gastric tube into this one gentleman, and the purpose of this tube was to try to correct the small bowel obstruction. But the thing was, the guy was a little reluctant to keep the tube in, and he manually took it out, right? Which sounds kind of gross. But because he took it out, there was no time for the bowel obstruction to heal, and because you have to act quickly on these sort of obstructions, because you can develop some sort of ischemia and things can get really bad real quick. So we're going to go operate, right? And like I said, it's going to be with a robot, meaning that I'm just going to watch. So good thing I'm kind of sleep deprived. The hospital is only right across the street. We just got here. It was a 1 minute drive. Believe it or not, I don't have to change my scrubs because I'm going to wear a full gown. Case should take about 2 hours, which whatever. Hopefully I don't fall asleep in the operating room. I'm literally sitting in a chair right next to the doctor, and occasionally, very, very rarely, he'll ask me like a question, and pretty simple. He'll ask me like, oh, what's that? The liver, or what's that? The spleen. So like, especially with that, because usually the doctors are so focused on the actual like machine that they're using that they don't really ask a lot of questions when they're doing the robot surgeries. But whatever. But today's debridement, all we did was made an incision in the lady's hand, and we just removed like some sort of like cyst she had within her muscle. So it really wasn't a debridement, it was more like a biopsy. But in any case, it only took 15 minutes. I'm actually starting to get a little hungry. Hopefully they're still serving breakfast. If not, I'll just drink coffee. I got lucky because they were still serving breakfast. They didn't have hard-boiled eggs. I just got my scrambled eggs, my bacon, and my sausage. Man, I really wanted this to be like a one-case day today, because I wanted to show you guys that like a lot of the times you just come in for like an hour and you go back home and you're free the rest of the day to study or do whatever you want, right? But we got a consult. It's not that bad. I'll be home by 11 o'clock. Our next case is at 9:30, and it's currently 8:30, so I have a couple of minutes to kill. I'm going to go to the doctor's lounge. I'm going to just drink an espresso or something like that. And then around 9 o'clock, we're going to go up to the patient's room, do a quick progress note, make sure everything's all right before surgery. Then we're going to bring the patient to the OR and do the robotic laparotomy. Morning, ladies. Good. Have yourself. We're all fed. We had our coffee. Now we're just waiting. So it's currently 9:15. I know we said we're going to go see the patient, but there's a little bit of a delay. So I'm just waiting for the doctor to come from the surgery center that we just were at to the hospital. In terms of what we're going to do today, so I know I told you we're going to do a robotic surgery for a small bowel obstruction. Now, because we only had a CT scan, and that's why we diagnosed it with a small bowel obstruction, we don't know what's actually causing the obstruction. It can be from adhesions, it can be from like mass, it can be from twisting. So we're going to go in there, we're going to do some exploration, and then after we find out what's causing the obstruction, then we can actually solve it with the surgery. Hopefully, I'll be done by 11 a.m. so I can go home and get some sleep. But the plan of the day is finish up with surgery, then go home, get a good night rest, or a good day's rest, I should say. Wake up, maybe eat, snack a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to the gym first or if I'm going to study first, but we'll see. But it's Friday, so I have the whole weekend ahead of me, so I'm pretty excited. Like I said, guys, the whole purpose of this video was to kind of motivate you guys to say, hey, medical school isn't as challenging as you might think. And I don't mean that like the wrong way. I mean that like compared to year 1 and year 2, where you're constantly doing things, you're going to class, you're going to small group, you have a bunch of shit, and then you got to go home and study, and okay, you really can fall back, right? But in years 3 and 4, I'm telling you guys that it's fun, and I complain all the time, and I really wanted to surprise you guys with like a in and out day, and even though I'm sleep deprived, I'm only going to be here for half an hour, but things didn't work out that way. Whatever. We're still going to have a great day. So the time is now 9:30, and we're rolling in the patient right now. Unexpectedly and surprisingly, we're going to be on time, so that's exciting. So I'm about to go scrub in, and I'll check with you guys after the procedure, all right? I wanted to help you guys visualize what I mean when I say I don't do anything during the surgery. So I sit right next to the doctor while he's on that machine. And what I do is I look at the screen while he's using the robot to look at the patient's intestines. And I look at the anatomy on the screen. All right, guys, I just left the OR. And it's because I'm going to scrub in right now. So I'm going to wash my hands and get gowned up. So at the end of the procedure, after he's done using the robot, I go in and then I do the sutures, right? I stitch up the whatever wounds that we made. All right. So surgery started at 9:30 on the dot, and we're out by 10:30. Look at that. Gotta give my scrubs back. Scan right here. Shirts over here, and the pants over here. And we're good. All right, guys. So I'm finally leaving the hospital. It's 11 a.m. So a quick little recap of everything we did so far. So even though I studied until 3 a.m. and had to get up at 6 a.m., as you can see, I had a really short day. I am sleep deprived, I will say that, but look, I'm out by 11 a.m. I have the rest of the day to sleep, to study, to work out, do whatever I want to do. So it all works out. So today, we went to the surgery center at 7 a.m., which is different than the hospital, like I said, and that was the only scheduled surgery we had, which was a debridement, and we were in by 7:15, and we were out by 7:45, so it was a really, really quick operation. Then what happened, unforeseen circumstances, we had another surgery pop up, which was for a small bowel obstruction, right? So like I said, I was supposed to be home by 8, but because we had another operation, I'm gonna be home by 11, which is not a big deal at all. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna wake up, I'm probably going to hit the gym, and then after the gym, we have to study, and I'm pretty excited because I have a lot to do. I'm really glad I was able to show you what I do during the surgery, because I know I say I just sit around, but I was able to show you where I sit and what do I do while I'm sitting. But in terms of, I want to explain what happens when you do a robotic surgery. So the first thing that happens when you're doing a robotic surgery on someone's abdomen is that you're going to put a tube in the person's belly, and it's going to go through the skin, through the layers of like fat. So you have your Camper's fascia, then you have your Scarpa's fascia, and then it goes through the different muscle layers and penetrates the sheath, right? Then what we do is we turn on the gas, and that gas is CO2. And what that CO2 does is it inflates the stomach, and it separates like the fat and skin layer away from the peritoneum. So you have the organs in the small bowel are exposed, and you're not constantly having to flap through skin. So it makes it a little easier, right? Then once we pump the stomach with air, the air stays in there, and then we can put the camera in there, and then we have the two prongs that act as your fingers, and everything from there becomes easy. So for this guy, he had a small bowel obstruction, and like I said, we had a CT done, and also we had an ultrasound done, and from that all we can see is that there is an obstruction, but we don't know what's actually causing that. So we go in with the camera, we look around, and we basically see what's causing this obstruction. So in today's case, as soon as we went in there, we got really, really lucky. So this surgery was literally only 15 minutes, right? Because as soon as we put the camera in, we saw this guy had a piece of like peritoneum, which is that covering of your stomach, of your intestines, was wrapped around part of this guy's small bowel, and that's what was causing the obstruction. So we just removed that piece, and we still run the bowel. When we say run the bowel, we still check every inch of the duodenum, ileum, and jejunum just to see there's no other obstructions. And we do that by just like pulling string like this with the two instruments. And I always used to ask, when you pull the intestines like that, who puts them back in place? But apparently you don't have to put them back in place because they go back in place by themselves. So once we fix the obstruction, we take out the instruments. We have to actually push on the guy's abdomen as well, and what that does, that releases any additional CO2 that's not released upon decompression. Then from there, that's when I scrub in, and that's when I do the stitches. Today, I will say I did a really, really good job with the stitches. He's going to be happy because they're really, really like thin. You really can't see. Yeah, I just did a good job because I've been practicing, right? So that's what we did today. So guys, it's 11:15 and I'm already home. So that was my work day for the day, even though it was longer than expected. I thought, like I said, I thought I was gonna get home a lot earlier, but whatever. So right now, I'm gonna sleep probably up until like about 2:30. And then I'm gonna wake up, make something to eat, and then we'll go to the gym, and then we're gonna come back home and study, all right? So I'll see you then. It's 3:30 p.m. I ended up sleeping for an extra hour, which isn't a big deal, but in any case, I'm gonna freshen up. I'm gonna get ready for the gym. I'm gonna take my pre-workout, and we're gonna head out the door, all right? Before before I usually go to the gym, I like to clean my house or clean my apartment, because I don't like coming back to a dirty place and having to do the dishes and do my laundry and do the bed. I want that stuff done before I come home after I'm really tired from the gym. So we took it out of the way. Now let's make some pre-workout. How's creatine? This is pre-workout. So, we're doing abs today, and we're doing some muscle group that it's my first time. It's called legs. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but we're gonna work out that today. I'm gonna do some stretching, some cardio. Then I'm gonna come home. We're gonna shower, eat, and study. I'll see you at the gym. Baton Rouge, Dr. Fitness, baby. So I always start my workouts off with doing some cardio. This is like the spin room, right? Those those bikes that you ride on. But I never actually do the spin courses on the screen. I just ride the bike for 10 minutes. I do that maybe medium resistance, and that really gets me to sweat. And I'm working out for the whole 10 minutes. And I think it's the best way to burn calories. If you actually Google best exercise to burn calories, spinning comes up. I think it's spinning and jump roping. So yeah. I'm gonna get to the bike, then after that I'm gonna do some abs and some thing called legs, like I said. And I'll meet you guys in the car when I'm done. All right guys, so we're all done from the gym. Gonna go home, we're gonna eat, shower, then go study. A question I get asked all the time is what do I listen to at the gym? And to your surprise, it's not music. I actually listen to audiobooks, right? So the last book I listened to was called Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill. All right guys, so we're home. So now it's time to make some dinner. So I always tell you guys, what I eat is pretty healthy for you. So between the protein shake I'm about to make, my little dessert thing, and my risotto, it's all under 800 calories, the whole entire meal. So it's pretty friendly or calorie friendly. So I'm gonna start off making my protein shake. I'm gonna drink that real quick to cut my appetite. Then what's kind of weird is I'm gonna start by making my dessert first, which is this frozen parfait thing I make. And the reason I make it first is because it is frozen. And by the time I'm done cooking, it's gonna be thawed out, so I can eat it. Then I'm gonna make a little bit of chicken creamy risotto. What is it called? It's called cauliflower risotto, but it's very cheesy, and I put chicken in it. And I'll show you guys how to make all that. So let's get started. All right guys, so dinner's cooked. We had our protein shake, you saw that in the video. Here's my creamy cauliflower risotto with chicken and cilantro and some cheese. And here's my dessert I made. Bon appetit. We're all done with the food, guys. I'm so full right now. I want to throw up. At the same time, I told you guys what I ate today. All I ate was the eggs and the bacon in the morning, and then all I ate is this. So I really don't eat much during the day. But I don't know, just accustomed to it. It's not like I'm thinking about food all day. I'm not really that hungry all day. So now I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get changed, then we're gonna start studying. All right? I'll see you soon. All right, guys. It's finally that time of the night we're gonna start studying. After I got done from the shower, I take that time to call my family. I call my friends. We talk. We converse. And now it's 8 o'clock, we're gonna start studying. So I have the fireplace, I have the timer. Not that I really need the timer today, but just for you guys to see how long I study for. But tonight what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go through this book. We're gonna go through pediatric surgeries, some vascular surgeries, and then we're gonna do some onco cards review, and then we're gonna go to bed. So pretty simple night. So you know how I told you we had the unexpected surgery today with the small bowel obstruction? So because we had the surgery, that requires me to go in the next morning and just do a progress note. When I say go in, I'm literally going to go there for half an hour. I'm going to interview the patient, see how he's doing. I'm going to talk to the nurses. Then I'm going to write a progress report so the doctor can read from home, and then just go home. So I'm probably going to go there at 8 o'clock a.m. and I'll be done by 8:30. That's guaranteed. There's not going to be any unpredicted surgeries. Oh, another side note before I start. Everyone always asks me how are you always so focused when you sit down and study. So here's my I tell you guys this every time. So when I sit down to study, I don't go right into studying. I do some work, like I say. So right now, I'm gonna work on a hobby I have, which I'm making a website right now for you guys. But besides that, I sit down here and I play around or whatever, do my hobbies, whatever, for about an hour, 45 minutes. Then I start studying. So the first hour, I'm not really studying, and the next couple hours, I will be studying. So hope you enjoy. All right, guys, so it's 12:30 and we're all done for studying for the night. I know I started at 8:30 and I can easily lie to you guys and tell you guys I was studying the whole time. But like I said before, the first couple hours, the first hour and a half, I was just working on my own hobbies. I have some big news coming out soon. And also I was talking to my friends. They have tests coming up, so I was just sharing some words of wisdom and some encouragement. Other than that, we had a good day today. The moral of the story is, though, the reason I made this video is I just wanted to make it clear that, in my opinion, I think that years 1 and 2 of medical school are much harder than years 3 and 4. So if you're struggling in medical school right now and you're in preclinicals, terms 1 or years 1 and years 2, just stay with it, because by the time you get to year 3 and 4, you're going to really, really enjoy it, right? Another thing I made clear in this video is sometimes my days are short, like you saw today. But if you watch on my previous videos, like they're titled Day in the Life of a Medical Student, those days are longer. Even though I was complaining today that I had to stay for an extra case, I went in at 7 and I was out by 11, even though I was only supposed to be there till 9 or like 8, whatever. Very short day. And I came home, I made up for the sleep that I lost, and I had a great day. I went to the gym, I ate, I talked to my family, and I did a little study. What more can I ask for? Yeah, so I'm having fun, and that's what matters. And you guys are going to have the same amount of fun I am. You just have to make it to the stage. So anyway, if you like the video, please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you at the next one. Good night.